Jessie smiled warmly at the passengers as they boarded the plane, her eyes twinkling with excitement. It was time for takeoff. The engines roared to life, and the airplane began to taxi down the runway. Jessie stood in the aisle, demonstrating how to use the seatbelts. Click! Went the buckle as she fastened it securely. She reminded everyone to turn off their phones. The familiar brrrt sound of devices powering down filled the cabin. Jessie loved her job as a flight attendant. She enjoyed meeting new people and ensuring their comfort and safety. Every day was a new adventure, filled with different destinations and diverse passengers. Today's flight was going to be sunny, with a chance of peanuts. The clear blue sky promised a smooth journey. Jessie walked down the aisle, her eyes scanning the rows to make sure everyone was safe and sound. She checked seatbelts, ensuring they were fastened properly, and looked under seats for any forgotten toys or items. As she passed row 12, she heard a delightful giggle that caught her attention. A little boy was waving his arms in the air, his excitement palpable. Looks like someone is excited about flying, Jessie thought with a chuckle, her heart warming at the sight. She gave the boy a friendly wink, hoping to make his flight even more special. The boy, whose name was Sam, grinned back, his face lighting up with joy. He was about 7 years old, with a mop of brown hair that framed his cheerful face. Sam was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Future Astronaut." How cute, Jessie thought, imagining his dreams of space travel. Jessie continued down the aisle, her heart warmed by the little boy's enthusiasm and dreams. Little did she know, this was just the beginning of a very eventful flight. The day held many surprises, and Jessie was ready for whatever came next. The plane soared into the sky, climbing higher and higher with each passing second. Sam was so excited he could hardly contain himself. He pressed his nose against the window, his breath fogging up the glass as he tried to take in every detail of the world below. The world looked so tiny from up here. The houses and roads seemed like they belonged in a toy set. Sam pretended he was a superhero, flying above the clouds. He imagined himself zooming through the sky, cape billowing behind him. He flapped his arms like wings. "Look, Mommy, I'm flying!" Sam giggled, his laughter filling the cabin. He showed off his best superhero moves, twisting and turning in his seat as if dodging imaginary obstacles. His mom smiled and went back to her book, her eyes twinkling with amusement. She had seen it all before, but it never failed to make her smile. Sam's performance didn't go unnoticed. Passengers around him began to take notice of the little boy's antics. The passengers around him chuckled at his antics, their laughter mingling with Sam's giggles. He was a natural entertainer. His energy was infectious, and soon everyone was watching him. One lady even gave him a thumbs up, her face lighting up with a big smile. Sam puffed out his chest, beaming with pride. He felt like a real superhero, bringing joy to everyone around him. Seeing the little boy so full of joy brought smiles to everyone's faces. It was a moment of pure happiness. It felt good to laugh, especially on a plane. The shared joy made the flight feel shorter and more enjoyable. But Jessie, ever the observant flight attendant, noticed something wasn't quite right. She had a keen eye for detail and sensed that something needed attention. As Jessie passed by row 12 again, she saw Sam scratching his arms. He was scratching so hard that his skin was turning red. Jessie stopped and crouched down, "Hey there, little buddy," she said. "What's wrong?" Sam looked up at Jesse, his face scrunched up in discomfort. "It itches," he whined, scratching even harder. "My arms itch so much." He showed Jesse his arms. They were covered in red, bumpy patches. Jesse's smile faded. This wasn't just a playful itch. Something was wrong. "Oh dear," she said softly. "That looks like a bad rash." She had seen something like it before. It could be serious. Jessie knew she had to act quickly. She couldn't ignore this. Sam needed help. "Sir, excuse me," Jessie said, gently tapping the shoulder of the man sitting next to Sam. It was Sam's dad, who seemed completely absorbed in his own world. He was engrossed in a movie on the tiny screen in front of him, oblivious to everything else around him. "Your son seems to have a rash," Jessie continued, her voice tinged with concern. "Have you noticed this before?" she asked, hoping to get his attention. Sam's dad reluctantly took off his headphones, clearly annoyed by the interruption. "Huh?" he said, looking up from the movie with a puzzled expression. He seemed annoyed to be interrupted, his face showing clear irritation. Jessie pointed to Sam's arms, which were covered in red, irritated patches. "He's been scratching a lot, and his skin is very irritated," she explained, her concern growing. Sam's dad glanced at his son's arms, barely giving them a second look. "Oh, that," he said dismissively, waving his hand as if it were nothing. "He probably just got into something. He always does," he added nonchalantly. He turned back to his movie, completely unconcerned. Jessie was shocked by his lack of reaction. How could he be so unconcerned, she thought, her mind racing. "Sir," she said firmly, "this looks serious. We need to do something about it." "I need to inform the captain," she decided, her voice resolute and determined to take action. Section 5. A Race Against Time. Jessie rushed to the cockpit. She explained the situation to the captain. He listened intently, his face grim. "We need to contact medical services immediately," he said, reaching for his headset. Back in the cabin, Jessie tried to comfort Sam. She brought him a cool, damp cloth to put on his arms. "This might help with the itching," she said soothingly. Sam was starting to get scared. He had never seen so many people worried about him before. He wished his dad would stop watching his movie and give him a hug. Jessie kept a close eye on Sam. She knew that every minute counted. She felt a surge of relief when she heard the captain's voice over the intercom. Section 6. Medical Marvels. "Attention passengers, this is your captain speaking. We have a medical situation on board. Is there a doctor or nurse on the flight? Please make yourself known to a flight attendant." A few minutes later, a woman in a blue dress approached Jessie. "I'm a doctor," she said. "How can I help?" Together, the doctor and Jessie went to check on Sam. The doctor examined Sam's arms carefully. She asked him questions about how he was feeling. Sam's dad finally put away his movie and started to pay attention. He looked worried now. "Don't worry," the doctor said reassuringly. "It looks like an allergic reaction. We can treat it." She gave Sam some medicine and told him to rest. Section 7. Safe and Sound. As the plane landed, an ambulance was waiting on the tarmac. Paramedics came on board to take Sam to the hospital for further evaluation. Sam's dad went with him, his face etched with concern. The other passengers applauded as Sam was wheeled out. They had all been worried about him. They were relieved that he was going to be okay. Jessie waved goodbye to Sam. She was proud of how brave he had been. She was also proud of herself for staying calm and taking charge. Section 8. A flight attendant's duty. Later that day, Jessie thought about what had happened. It wasn't every day that a flight attendant helped save the day. She realized that her job was about more than just serving drinks and snacks. It was about keeping people safe, both in the air and on the ground. Jessie knew that she had made a difference in Sam's life that day, and that made her feel good, really good. She couldn't wait for her next adventure in the sky.